Okay, hi, Assalamualaikum, and good evening to everyone. So today, I will be a moderator. I am Nur Aida Yusnira. So, la, how are you? How are you, everyone? To our beloved students. So today we have our teacher that can deliver something to you. So same as our previous slide, which is before before this, we have another subject which is um, YouTube Live for another subject such as mathematics, sejarah, science, and also bahasa Melayu. So for today, we have um, slot for English subject. So anyone here is first time for watching our YouTube live? I just have some info for you guys. So for your information, program Empower Answer Academic is held by NCR Malaysia and collaborate with Universiti Pendidikan Sultan Idris. So today, I will present to you our panel uh, that we brought from SMK Wangsa Maju Section 2. Let me pass to you to our panel for today. So make it short. So okay. Hi, teacher.
Hi.
This is
Yes.
teacher Adelina
Uh,
from SMK Wangsa Maju Section
yes.
2.
Yes. 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 Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you
So
for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me to have this sharing session workshop with everybody. Okay. So I hope that today's session for 1.5 hours can you can gain something that could help you to do well for your English language paper. So that if there is any part that I need to emphasize, I'll be at that part a little bit longer. Okay. So don't worry. If you feel that if you don't understand, I'll go a little bit slower, or I'll just mix a little bit of VM, just to make sure that everybody understands. And at the end of our workshop today, around 10 minutes before we end, we will have a little bit of questionnaire. You can have a question and answer session with me. If there is any doubts or anything that you want to know more, then I will probably help you out through that. Okay. All right. So do we want to proceed right away? Can we proceed?
yes,
Okay. All right.
you
Okay.
can
So
have this question.
yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, students. Good evening, teachers. Uh, Today, I was given this privilege to share, to have this session with everyone, uh, and I hope that this particular session could help the students better. Okay, all right. Can you see my slide? Can you see my slide? Can I?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so for those who wants to know how do I look, who wants to know how do I look like? That's how I look like. Okay. All right. So students out there, uh, this is I don't consider this as to be actually to become to be a workshop, but it is more like a sharing session. Because for your information, for this year's STM examination for 1119 English, this is the first year that we are using the new format. The new format. So, but I think for the candidates for SPF 2021, uh, your paper is actually quite similar to PT3 because I think I've set for PT3, and then we have these 2 years of actually resting time for everyone. Okay, so we'll just try to get to catch up as much as we can, right? Okay, now let me start off with. Okay, this is actually the how the format for the SPM assessment this year, starting from 2021. If you were to see at the paper, English paper, once you sit down for your exam later, somewhere in March, you'll see the code for the paper is 1119. So 1119, this is more on Sapphire because due to Sapphire's implementation, this paper, English language paper, has been divided into four. Okay, right? Okay. I hope everybody could see. Yeah, no worries. Once I have done with my session today, I will actually share the slides with the announcer. Okay, and they can share the slides with you. I think it's okay. I think it's alright, isn't it? Okay. All right. Now for the instrument, the format, we have four papers actually. Four papers, which is 11191, 2, 3, and 4. So the differences of these four papers can be seen at the numbering behind. You could see that you've got reading and the use of English, you've got writing paper, you've got speaking, and you've got listening. All right. So I think in schools, your teacher must have explained to you, how your exam format looks like, right? And today I'll be touching a little bit more on writing, paper two, more on paper two because paper two, later on you can see the weightage of the marks. The carry weightage is a little bit higher. All right. For the English 1119 paper, it is divided into four so that you could see it clearer. You have reading and the use of English. For this paper one, we have 40 questions. And the given marks is 40 as well. So this is the paper where it comprises of grammar. You have reading. You have a mixture of information transfer. You've got get tags and so forth. And this kind of format you could see actually in most of the English language assessment. And I think in schools, teachers are they are more comfortable of doing this, right? Easier. And then you have writing, which is paper two, and you have speaking, paper three actually. Sorry for the wrong numbering, and paper four is actually listening. Okay. All right. Now for this year, it's a little bit more special because all these four paper holds 25%. It's everything is equal, meaning that if the student does not sit any one of these papers, that you have to, there will not be you will not be given any ratings, any marks. You will not see that, but you'll be given a T. T means it is incomplete. Therefore, all the four papers is compulsory for students to do. There's no such thing that you come on. I want to come on for only for paper one and two. I'm not going to sit for paper three and four, which is not right. Okay, all right. So if you could see below, here this is the mark allocation for each paper. So paper one we have 40 marks. At 40 marks, this is a combination of multiple choice question. You have to fill in. You have choices of answers where you have to put in the letter of they have the answers given to you. You have to make a choice, and you have information transfer. And the information transfer is something that you actually have done before when you were in Form 3, right? Okay, then you have writing paper, which gives you 60 marks. 60 marks because you have three essays that you need to complete, and you have three parts. For speaking, it is 24 marks, and for listening is 30 marks. All right. So if you add up all these marks, it is equivalent to, if I'm not mistaken, it's 154. 154 altogether, right? Okay. So you can see that even though it is 25% is just to make sure that everything is being taken, compulsory. But 40, 60, you can see the weightage of the marks where you can actually score better, where you can actually score more, where you could work harder at. Right? Okay. Now, let me start off with our paper one. our paper one. Now, paper one is actually testing students on their reading and the use of English. And the use of English. When we say the use of English, it is your grammar, your vocabulary, and this is the paper where actually students can gauge more marks. Markah sebenarnya pelajar boleh dapat di sinilah kalau betul-betul because you have parts that allows you to gain the marks. Nanti saya tunjuk kalau bahagian satu macam mana, bahagian kedua macam mana. And the duration of time given to is 1 hour and 30 minutes only. 1 hour and 30 minutes. 1 jam 30 minit. For me, it is quite enough for 40 questions, and students should not be given any reason for not doing so. Alright? Okay. Okay. Now, this is what consists in paper one. Paper one. So you can see that there are parts. You got part one, part two, three, four, and five. You got task type. Task type means tugasan. How do the students answer the question? Are they given options? Are they not? Number of items, bilangan lah, berapa soalan diberikan. Task format is what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do? And how does the question looks like? So at the end here is the marks for all the parts. Okay. So when we add all the 5 parts together, we will get 40 at the end of the day. Yeah? Now, part 1 means 3 option multiple choice. Later, I'll show you the example. 3 multiple choice, 3 pilihan jawapan. But when you go to part 2, they give you a little bit harder, where you have to make like you are given 4 options of choices, and then continue with another 4 option multiple choice, and which is the comprehension part. In part 4 is a gap text. Now, gap text is where actually students are tested on their understanding of the passage. And part 5 is matching and transferring information. Yeah? So there are 5 different tasks altogether that require students to do. Jadi pelajar sebenarnya dia pilihan sebenarnya. Part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 dan part 5. Dan selalunya kebanyakan sekolah, most schools, if the teachers want to do assessment, they will do that paper 1. Okay, alright. Okay, let me continue. So this is actually the sample. Contoh lah, part 1 tu apa. So when we say part 1, is actually giving you the choices of answers, 3 multiple choice, 3 option. Maksudnya ada 3 lah, A, B dan C saja. 3. So for this part 1, you will have 8 questions. Akan ada 8 soalan. So saya rasa budak dah biasa, pelajar dah biasa kan, senang sebenarnya. Okay, when you go into part 2, nampak tak? A little bit difficult. So you have to read and you have to fill in the blanks. This one is a normal question. Form 3 pun you buat, tingkatan 4 you buat, tingkatan 5 pun you buat lah. But you were given more choices, but you ada 4 pilihan jawapan. 4 pilihan jawapan. And this is the part yang saya selalunya pesan dengan murid saya sendiri. This is where your grammar is being tested. Your past tense, your present tense, your future tense. Sometimes, some questions about vocabulary. It's a combination of that. And when you do this, actually, when you sit down with your teachers, basically your teacher will be telling you, oh, this is soalan ni pasal apa, soalan ni pasal apa. Cikgu dah memang bantu dengan kita belajar dekat situ. Alright? Okay. Part 3. Part 3 is reading comprehension. Reading comprehension means you read and you comprehend and you have to understand. You have to understand. And for this part, students are given actually 4 choices. 4 options for them to choose. And if they do not actually understand the text, they cannot answer the question. But the pelajar bila sampai bahagian part 3 ini, and my advice to you is, you take some time to read and try to understand. And if you are given, the choice of, the time to practice in class, this is the time where you can actually ask your teachers. There are certain words yang you tak faham, tanya cikgu. Make notes. This is actually the last minute where you really need your teacher's help, right? Okay. So if you have this comprehension text, your comprehension questions will look like this. This is what we call as four option multiple choice. Empat pilihan jawapan. Okay. Right. Now, when you go into part four is where students are given a gap text. A gap text means it looks quite similar to your comprehension. It's just that there are certain sentences will be removed. Enam ayat tu akan dihilangkan. Pelajar diberi pilihan yang lain. Eight options. Dalam 8 tu hanya 6 saja yang betul. Di mana pelajar akan, you have to fit in the right sentences, uh, the right context of continuation into the blanks. The blanks. Contoh macam ni lah ya. Okay. So this is a comprehension text, tempat kosong. So pelajar diberi pilihan seperti ini. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 contoh. They will give you they will give you 7 or they will give you 8 options. And from these options, students have to find the suitable one to be put in by the number of question yang kosong tadi. Okay. Alright. And part 5 is matching and information transfer. Matching and information transfer. For this particular part, there are many ways that you can be asked. Some matching and information transfer passages can be in the form of diagrams. It can be in the form of advertisement. It can be in the form of a graph. Jadi saya punya saranan saya, my advice to you, you don't do questions yang kata hanya menjurus kepada satu arah saja. Perbagaikan latihan semasa dalam kelas. Okay? Alright. Contohnya seperti inilah. For this example, I gave you on Chinese horoscope. So the Chinese horoscope were given in the form of a statement. These are actually a description. Macam mana horoscope masyarakat Cina ni. Everybody knows. Macam contoh macam tahun ni. For this year, tahun ni adalah tahun harimau contohnya. So the Chinese horoscope will tell you, what does rat represents, rabbit represents what. And by the side of the names of the animals, there are given alphabets. So the usage of these alphabets is for you to use it later to put your answer, to fill in the blanks. For example, like this. Okay. So this is transferring. You transfer from the text here. Any one of the, whether it's correct or not, it depends on the description given. So you put the zodiac sign here. So if the zodiac sign is a tiger, so you can put here a tiger. Tapi itu kepada arahan lah. So which paragraph A to F describes the characteristics of a person influenced by the year they were born. So here they ask you for the zodiac sign. Dia bukannya minta huruf, betul? They didn't ask for alphabet. They ask for the zodiac sign. So if the zodiac sign is a tiger, then you put the answer tiger in the blank. Now, for question, for the next 4 questions, for the last 4 questions, please be careful. Read back the rubrics. Arahan, instruction. The instruction will tell you how many words you need to use to fill in the blanks. And it is always bold. So pelajar tolonglah jangan buat silap di sini. Saya turun minta nasihatkan. Please don't make mistakes. Sometimes the mistake comes from the students because it is already being bold. So you got highlighter, you highlight the word. you can see dia kata kat sini, no more than one word. Ini satu patah perkataan sahaja. If a student or the candidate puts two words, and even though one of the words is correct, yet the answer will still be wrong. Dia tetap dikira sebagai salah. So this is the area, and part 5 is where most students will make mistakes, especially the last 4 questions, because they did not read the instructions. Tolong baca arahan. So you don't argue with your teacher if your teacher says, one word, don't argue, because it is already stated in the question, in the instruction. Tolong Okay. Alright, so setakat ini, any questions? You can actually post it down on the chat box, so that I can straight away answer the question. So this is actually your paper 1. Your paper 1. And I don't think paper 1 is that difficult. Macam saya cakap tadi awal, most students will do very well in their paper 1. Definitely they will do well, insyaAllah. Okay. Alright. Boleh saya teruskan? Can I continue? Alright. Okay, let's go to paper 2. Paper 2 is actually is the paper that I like the most. I like the most because this is where the students have to go a little bit harder, because this paper is testing you on your writing skills. Kalau pelajar tanya saya apa kaitan, what is the relation between paper 1 and paper 2? Paper 1 is actually, it's just a warming up. It's just warming up, because paper 1 helps you to enhance your vocab understanding, your grammar understanding, and some of the contents in your comprehension. Sometimes some of the topics used in comprehension passages in paper 1 can be actually used in paper 2. Kadang-kadang kita tak perasan kan, tapi sebenarnya itu yang berlaku. Words in gap text in part 2 or part 3. In part 3. Part 2. This actually helps you in your grammar and your vocabulary. So this paper 1 is actually related to paper 2. Sebenarnya pelajar kena faham tu. Now paper 2, the duration is also 1 hour and 30 minutes. 1 hour and 30 minutes. Then this is where I always tell my students, nasihat daripada pelajar saya sendiri lah. Macam pelajar dekat luar sana pun saya nasihatkan benda yang sama. You have 1 hour and 30 minutes, and this paper 2 requires you to write 3 essays. 3 essays, 1 hour and 30 minutes. It is understandable. Spend 30 minutes each on each question, on each part. InsyaAllah, if you know how to manage your time, you can actually complete all the 3 parts in the time given. Later I will share to you apa kaedah yang saya gunakan dengan pelajar saya for me to train them on how to manage their time. Setakat ni, I think when I did that with my students, some of them actually can do. They know how to manage the time after that. Okay. Now let's go for the let's go first on the overall view of the paper itself. Now paper 2, it is called as 11192/2. Okay, 60 markah dekat sini pelajar. Janganlah lupa, 60 marks is actually a lot. The time is 1 hour and 30 minutes. So you have 3 items. Bila kita kata 3 items, maksudnya 3 tugasan. And you have 3 parts tested for you. You got part A. Part A is what we call as short communicative message. Paling mudah kita panggil email lah. That requires students to write 80 words. Pelajar jangan risau. Nanti saya akan go one by one supaya pelajar akan nampak. You nampak sebenarnya macam mana part A ni, macam mana part B dan macam mana part C. Now, part B is the guided writing. Guided writing is a little bit different than extended writing. Nanti saya beritahu apa beza dia. Okay. And then part C is an extended writing. Extended, everyone knows extended means lebih panjang. Panjang sikit. But in part C, extended writing task pun adalah lebih banyak berbanding dengan part B. Because part B, it does not tell you what kind of writing that you're going to write. Dia very general. Very general. Tetapi bila sampai part C ni, you ada beberapa benda yang you kena belajar. Which is a report, and how you write a report, how to write a review, article, and a story. Then you can see that the number of words also increases in every part. So, kenapa pun nanti saya akan beritahu kemudian lah. Alright, so 25% di sini. Masih 25%. So tak ada kertas yang lebih penting ke apa. Semua sama penting. Okay, pelajar, yang ni pelajar kena tahu you have to know. Kenapa cikgu bagi markah rendah? Why your teacher give this mark? Why your teacher give this mark? For writing assessment focus, there are two things that we are looking at, which is your task completion. Task completion means the content. Now, content kita tengok di mana? Content kita tengok kepada kehendak soalan. What does the question wants you to do? What the question wants you to give? And that is the content. Linguistic competence will test you on your grammar, will test you on your organization, will test you on your how to go about your vocabulary, everything, the tone, from one paragraph to another. These are your linguistic competence. Kalau dalam bahasa Melayu kita kata penggunaan penanda wacana. Lebih kurang macam itulah. It's some sort of like that. Alright. So these are the 4 things that students must know when they write an essay. When you write an essay, you must know the content. Content ini penting sebab if the students do not understand the question, what is going to happen is we are going to be out of topic. Content tu mesti kena tepat, direct to the point. Tak boleh, you go here, you go there. Tapi what people call as, beat around the bush. Berkias-kias berkata-kata. Baru nak sampai kepada maksud yang sebenar. Tak, content. Content adalah isi. Apa yang kita nak dalam soalan. Communicative achievement means, when you write down your essay, does it communicate or not? Do you understand what you're writing? Kalau ada orang lain membaca, does it communicative? Sampai tak maklumat? Is it informative or not? Mudah tak untuk kita faham? Organization is how you plan from one paragraph to another. Itu yang contohnya macam you baca novel. Apa kita dapat? Seronok ke tak baca novel tu? Sebab tu novel dia ada chapter. From one chapter to another, how we organize, bila kita baca tu, kita akan tertarik nak baca seterusnya. Sampailah kita faham apa yang kita nak. And the last one is language. Now, language differs from one student to another. Sebab itu dalam bahasa Inggeris, you have, students are given the options of writing sentences. Contohnya, dia write sentences macam mana? Dia write sentences contohnya macam, can you write simple sentences? Can you write complex sentences? Or can you write compound sentences? Now, simple, complex and compound are the things that you learn in school. Cikgu awak semua mesti dah pernah ajar di sekolah. Pelajar tak buat benda ni. Cikgu memang ajar. So language is, and it relates to, how we write, the words that we use. Bahasa yang kita gunakan, perkataan yang kita gunakan. Is it simple? Is it high end? Atau is it sophisticated? Sophisticated maksudnya perkataan tu yang jarang kita pakai, tetapi bila kita pakai sekali, it sounds very, very nice. Itu lebih kepada karangan-karangan pelajar-pelajar yang memang dia punya bahasa dia sangat tinggi. Tapi jangan risau, sebab itu bahasa Inggeris kita ada, kita lebih pentingkan kat sini. Content ni, pelajar kena tahu dulu lah. Because usually when the content is well delivered, insyaAllah, everything can be understood well by us. Orang yang membaca tu dia akan faham. Okay? Alright, pelajar. Now, kita pergi part yang pertama. Alright, part pertama is short message. Short message. Kenapa kita bagi soalan email kepada murid? Now we are living in the 21st century. 21st kan? We are living in the 21st century. We are moving, we are progressing. Most of the time, we are not using letters anymore. We are using devices. We communicate more on using email. Jadi pelajar-pelajar kita nak galakkan mereka, nak ajar mereka macam mana nak menulis email dengan betul. Email is understandable, it's very simple, short, but well delivered. Message yang diberikan tu tepat, padat, ringkas, mudah difahami. Okay, now for SPM, you are privileged. What the lembaga peperiksaan actually has helped you a lot. They even provide you with a template. Template macam mana nak tulis semua ada. And I think your teachers in school, kebanyakan cikgu memang akan beri pelajar banyak latihan on email. Macam saya pun saya buat benda yang sama juga. Tak ada beza. So an email will be given as a form of question for you to reply. So they will give you a situation. What is the situation about, and you have to answer the situation. So the email should be at about 80 words. 80 kata perkataan. Pelajar jangan lupa sebab itu kita kena akur kepada bilangan perkataan. If not, you're going to write very long, and the more you write actually, the more mistakes you will make. Ini memang normal. Cikgu pun sama juga. Kalau saya pun panjang-panjang, saya akan buat silap. So pelajar tak ada beza. Kita sama. We are just the same. And you must complete writing it. You cannot like leave it in the middle, tak buat apa-apa, buat separuh jalan dan you tinggal. Tak. Okay, nanti cikgu akan tunjuk, I will show you kat mana kita nak kat mana kita nak jawab, macam mana kita nak jawab soalan tu, email. Kat mana kita nak concentrate, where does your eyes need to set on. Kat mana mata kita nak fokus. Okay? Alright, jom kita masuk. Okay, this is an example of a question. Soalan. Saya rasa dalam buku banyak dalam soalan-soalan tahun-tahun trial negeri-negeri pun ada banyak. So saya pilih satu kat sini. Ini yang paling mudah lah. So if you look here, they give you question 1. You receive an email from your new friend, kawan baru, Amy, who has just moved to your hometown. Now set in your mind, when you read the word, when you see the word hometown adalah tempat tinggal awak, kampung awak, daerah awak. So if you are a candidate in Perak, sekarang saya bercakap dengan pelajar daripada Perak, contoh. Therefore, when you write, when you answer to Amy later, you have to use back your own hometown. Janganlah you duduk Perak, you nak cerita pasal you kat KL, tak sesuai. Jangan peningkan kepala kita. Kita guna balik tempat asal. So dalam kotak ni adalah you punya situasi. Kenapa sebenarnya? What's wrong with Amy? So hi, the school holiday is finally here. Right? Let's go for a picnic with our friends. Nampak tak apa yang Amy nak sekarang? Where shall we go and what can we do there? What should we bring? Okay, standard setakat ni yang saya tengok, saya tak pernah nampak email sepanjang untuk this new format. They will give students 2 questions. No, they will give 3 questions. 3 questions in the email itself. Memang ada dalam. The first question, where shall we go? Itu yang pertama. Second question, what can we do there? 2. And the third one is, what should we bring? Kalau saya pusing balik ke belakang, ini adalah content yang kita cari. For you to complete the task, you need to look at the content. So, the content here is in the middle dalam soalan tu tadi. 1, 2 dan 3. Alright? Garis. Kalau sebab when you for your examination, I'm not sure whether you are allowed to bring your highlighter or not, but you can bring a pen, you can bring a pencil, you can bring a ruler, underline. If possible, you underline. So that when you underline, your eyes is fixed on what you are supposed to do, And that question will not get lost. Mata awak dah tak cari tempat lain dah. Okay. I'll be waiting for your reply by. Nampak tak? Very simple email. It is not a very long email. Therefore, bila kita nak jawab nanti, kita kena pandai lah. Kena tahu macam mana kita nak jawab. Sama juga macam konsep macam ni. Okay. Macam pelajar saya selalu pesan pada dia. You don't have to be, if you feel that you want to do more, fine. Tapi you have to make sure that the time that you want to do it has to be well managed. If you see that the email sent to you has starting the start off is a hi. Bila kita jawab pun kita guna hi lah balik. Jangan pening-peningkan kepala. Tak ada masalah. But if you want to put here dear what, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is as long as you don't exceed the time, you can complete the email, it is fine with me. It's fine with me. It is fine. Yang penting masa cukup. Alright? Okay, sekarang ni apa yang kita kena buat? There is another instruction below telling you what to do. Now write an email to your friend. So kawan kita tadi Amy, betul? Jadi bila kita tulis jawapan tu tadi, make sure that the person that you are writing must be Amy. Jangan tukar nama orang lain. And because you are writing, make sure that when you complete your email, when you reply your email, di bawah ini adalah nama awak. Your name. Okay? Alright, 80 patah perkataan. 80 words is actually quite short. So if it is 80 words, it's not too long. It's just like one paragraph. Tengok ni pun dia buat satu perenggan je. Satu perenggan. There is no actually a fixed answer whether for an email, whether to use, whether to write 5 paragraphs ke, to write 1 paragraph ke. Tak ada sebenarnya. Tetapi tendency for students, if you write many paragraphs, you are going to write long. Itu memang biasa. Pelajar selalu dia buat macam tu. Sebab tak dia dah set dah macam tu. Banyak perenggan, panjang lah awak tulis. Kita tak ada masa. Ingat, contoh soalan dah seperti ini. Maksudnya jawapan pun lebih kurang macam ni. Okay? Alright, now what should you do? This is how I plan. For practice, before your exam, you do a lot of practice first. Practice sebenarnya you kena cari dulu kat mana kita nak, where do you want to get the answer, what question should you concentrate on. Bila kita jawab soalan tu kita nak pergi cari di mana. So apa saya selalu buat ialah, ini saya buat dengan murid-murid saya sendiri. So apa yang saya cakap dengan whatever that I'm sharing with you right now is actually what I do with my own students. Saya tak akan reka benda yang saya tak buat. Okay, now I pull out the question just now. This is just for practice. What your friend Amy wants to get from you is that, she wants to invite you for a picnic. So kita tahu nak pergi piknik ni adalah kita punya, this is our aim. So when we aim to go for a picnic with our friends, Amy is basically asking for your suggestions. Cadangan, kat mana nak pergi? Sebab tu dia tanya, where shall we go? Okay? What can we do? When you ask the question, what can we do? You're talking about activities. What do you want to do? Ingat, otak kita kena set lah. What? Apa kita nak buat? And the third question is, what should we bring? Nak bawa apa? Bawa apa? Situasi dia, picnic. I think every one of us have went to picnic before. Whether you go with your friends, you go with your family members, picnic, you bring food. Picnic, you bring a mat, tikar. Picnics, you bring drinks. Mesti ada. Tak penat-penat. Okay? And, when you go for a picnic can be at a beach. A picnic can be at a park. Taman. A picnic can be at a playground. Terpulanglah kepada awak kat mana. Tetapi, jika pelajar, especially pelajar-pelajar yang sederhana dan pelajar yang lemah, kalau you rasa, you dah biasa dengar perkataan piknik itu adalah di pantai, jadi you cakaplah di sini pantai. Kalau negeri awak di Negeri Sembilan, what is the most famous beach in Negeri Sembilan? Definitely you say Port Dickson. So if you're staying in Negeri Sembilan, then you say, you want to go to Port Dickson. Alright? And when you go to the beach, what do? Some of you play what you play beach volleyball, or some of you want to do probably sand castles, istana pasir, benda-benda yang kita biasa buat. Alright. Kalau awak tengok situasi ni sebenarnya sama macam yang kita selalu buat, especially di musim cuti persekolahan. Ada tak dengan pengalaman kita? Ada, mesti ada. Beza kita pergi dengan kawan-kawan. Beza dengan kawan-kawan. Alright. Okay. Saya tarik keluar 3 soalan ni tadi. Sama tak dengan atas? Sama. Alright. Apakah akan berlaku sekiranya pelajar tak jawab soalan ni? They will lose mark at their content. Maka dia akan hilang, kurang. Maka tu tidak boleh diberi terlalu tinggi. Dia akan diberikan rendah. Okay. Alright. Seterusnya, macam mana kita nak tulis? Macam mana kita nak tulis email? Email ni tak susah kan? Email ni senang saya rasa. It's quite easy actually. Alright. Now, a friendly opening. Friendly opening means, bila kita tulis surat tak rasmi, kita akan kata hi, hello. That is friendly. So, kalau you tengok contoh soalan tadi, in the question itself, saya pusing balik belakang, dia guna hi, betul? This is friendly. Or you can say hello. That is friendly. When you go into your second part, this question must be answered. Awak kena jawab content ni tadi ya. Balik alamat sorry. Content isi. How are you going to answer the content? Dia menggunakan soalan yang ada WH kat depan. WH question. Where? What? What? Right? And when you have completed your email, you must end it with in a friendly manner. Kita bye kan. Kalau orang yang biasa kita rapat tu, kawan-kawan kita, okay, bye-bye. See you soon. See you later. Something like that. Lebih kurang macam itulah. Okay? Okay. Mari. Setakat ni faham tak? Setakat ni ada soalan nak tanya? Ada tak soalan nak tanya? Nanti tanya soalan banyak-banyak. Tanya soalan banyak-banyak. Okay. Bukan banyak apa. Kalau tak faham terus tanya supaya nanti saya senang nak jawab. Kita nak berkomunikasi susah kan? Sebab saya dekat KL. Okay, ini saya bahagilah nanti. I will share with you later with the dengan pihak penaja. Okay, ni yang saya kata friendly opening kan. Hello, hi, how are you? Alright. Okay, satu je pelajar saya nak ingatkan ya. Ini nasihat saya lah. Semasa kita sekolah rendah, when you in primary school, your primary school teachers selalu dia akan guna macam ni. I hope you are in the pink ataupun I hope you are in the pink of health right now. Students, you are already in form 5. Please don't use this. Saya nasihatkan, especially bila permulaan jawapan kepada email tadi. Please don't use this because this is an old usage. Kita dah tak pakai dah sama sekarang. Jangan guna, jadi kita gantikan dengan apa? We replace it with this. Hi, hello, how are you? How are things? How is it going on? It's good to hear from you. This is what you use now. Don't use this, okay? Alright? Ini saya dah tulis kat sini. Not advisable. Tidak dinasihatkan. So, jangan buatlah. Alright? Okay. Content. Yang ni yang penting. Kita nak jawab soalan. Answer this question. InsyaAllah memang dapat markah. You definitely will get your marks. Friendly endings. Friendly opening. Friendly endings. Bye. Bye for now. See you soon. Speak to you later. Talk to you later. Terpulang. Awak ada banyak pilihan kat sini. Choose. Not advisable to use other languages. Okay, saya bagi contoh ya. Adios, Mexico. Adios, amigos. Please don't. Sayonara. Tiba-tiba nak cakap Jepun. Please don't. Tiba-tiba nak jadi orang Korea. Annyeong. No, please don't. Sama juga dengan if you want to start off your opening with Assalamualaikum. This is actually not advisable. Kalau boleh. Sebab this is English language paper. Kita tak, kalau boleh kita tak galakkan pelajar guna Assalamualaikum, especially untuk pelajar-pelajar Islam. Tidak ada benar. Kalau boleh lah jangan. Sebab dia akan mengganggu nanti. Tak cantik untuk markah. Tak cantik untuk markah. Right? Okay? Faham ya? Okay. Alright. Now, bila saya nak elaborate, this is how we do it lah, brainstorming. You brainstorm first. Pelajar satu je masalah dengan pelajar sekarang. Pelajar tingkatan 5, masalah mereka ialah susah nak brainstorm. Dia ada something, they have a little bit of difficulties to brainstorm. Brainstorming is the thing that practice that you need to do now. Masa ni lah kita nak brainstorm sebanyak yang mungkin, buat dalam kelas dengan cikgu. Bila saya kata brainstorm, saya sebut semasa saya terangkan ni tadi. Brainstorm maksudnya, when you want to answer your question, make sure you make a choice. You nak guna tempat di mana? Beach, park or river? Where? Di manakah jalan? The place. Port Dickson, Negeri Sembilan, you have to be very firm. You have to be very clear. How far? Is it far away from your place? How many kilometers? And the name of the place. If you can name the place, it is way better. Ingat, this is hometown. Negeri awak sendiri, daerah awak sendiri. You should know your place better daripada orang lain. Okay? Inilah pelajaran yang saya kata contoh. This is a sample of answer kepada soalan tadi tu. Bila saya kata template disediakan, template maksudnya inilah dia. This is how a template of an email looks like. So you have 3 columns. The first column here is for you to write the email address. Make sure that the email address, bila kita jawab balik pada kawan kita ke, sepupu kita ke, the email address is something which is usable. Macam ni book face ni saya rasa ada kot. Ataupun you want to use yahoo.com. You want to use google.com. Email mesti email yang memang wujud lah. Alright. Tak perlu bagi email awak lah. Use reka, nama dekat depan ni reka. Tetapi di belakang ni kita guna apa.com. Right. Subject means what would be the title of your email. Mesti ada title. Sebab itu kalau awak hantar email dekat Yahoo kan, they will, if you don't put a title at the subject, the administrator of the email, dia akan tanya you still want to send or not. So without the title, you akan jawab ya atau tidak. Selalunya macam tu lah. Selalunya macam tu bila tu lah. Okay. Alright. Okay, nampak tak slide saya? Saya rasa macam ada tak nampak ni. Nampak tak? Nampak Mana kakak tadi? Bilanglah kakak tadi. Saya nak dia tengok dulu. Nampak Saya rasa nampak ni. Alright. Sebab saya tak nampak. Sebab saya, because I myself I cannot see. So saya harap nampak lah. Nampak. Sekejap. Okay, saya share sekali lagi boleh tak? Saya stop sharing dulu. Nanti saya share sekali lagi. So dah makan belum? Have you had your dinner, everybody? Have you had your dinner? If you had your dinner, sepatutnya okey lah. Dah kenyang lah semua orang ni kan. Tak apa, jangan risau. InsyaAllah kita usaha. Kita cuba. Kita tak nampak je. Nampak muka saya je. Okay, nampak? Nampak Alright, can I continue? Saya boleh continue Okay. Okay. Seterusnya, alright, this is how the template looks like. This is how your answer should be. Alright. So what happened here is this. Di manakah saya dapat tajuk ni tadi? Tajuk ni ada dalam soalan. So this is what I call as a shortcut. Pelajar kadang-kadang dia tak tahu mana nak cari jawapan. Jawapan memang ada dalam soalan. Just pick one. From the question. Okay. Here, friendly opening. Hi Amy. Saya cuma tambah nama Amy saja di hadapan. Saya tak buat ni lain. Okay. So I start off with, I'm glad that you have brought this up as I had nothing planned for the holidays. If you want to make it shorter, tak ada masalah. I have no problem. So I'm totally excited and know just the place for our picnic. So this is what happened. Adakah pelajar ingin menjawab soalan? Yes. Because here she mentioned it will be at Central Park, just beside Eastwood. Kita jawab soalan yang pertama. Okay, jawab soalan yang pertama. Bila dia jawab soalan yang pertama tu, di mana, kenapa dia pilih? Usually when we make a decision on a place that we have chosen, we have to give the reason why. Kadang-kadang pelajar tak bagi pun tak apa. Tetapi kalau saya nasihatkan bagilah. Ya. So when the student chooses Central Park, dia kata tempat itu mereka boleh bermain bola. They can play ball. And the park is huge. Dia bagi dua sebab. So kalau you kata you want to go for a picnic at Port Dickson, you can say that Port Dickson has a beautiful beach. And and they have a lot of food stalls. So after you have played, or when you feel tired, you feel hungry, you can just go and buy food there. Mudah. Ya? Okay. Kemudian apa lagi kawan ni kata? Apa yang dia kena bawa? Dia kata apa lagi dia kena bawa? So dia cakap, don't forget, jangan lupa to bring extra mat. Tika. Alright. Kemudian apa dia lagi? Apa lagi dia boleh bawa? Dia kata bring some snacks. Bawa makanan. Biscuits. Biscuits ke apa pun. Dia bawa lagi food. Makanan pun dia bawa. Menjawab tak soalan? Dia jawab soalan kan. Yang pertama, ni Central Park. Bila dia kata play ball, so kita we assume that when you go to this place, you're going to play ball. Memang nak main. Nak bermain bola. Bola sepak ke, volleyball ke, kita tak tahu. Right. Bila you kata apa yang perlu dibawa? Dibawa lah tukar. Soalan yang seterusnya. Dan makanan. Okay. Alright. So at the end, I finish it up with by. Right. And then my name here. Dekat bawah. Okay. Mudah Mudah sebenarnya, tak susah pun. Alright. Yang ini nampak lebih jelas boleh kita analyse balik. Bila kita nak bagi markah pada pelajar, kita akan tengok balik pelajar ni jawab tak soalan. Do the students actually answer the question? So you nampak tak nombor 1 ni? Number 1 is answering the first question, where? Because Amy asked you for a suggestion of place. So here, you suggested Central Park. Dapat dah content 1. Did you answer question number 2? Apa aktiviti yang boleh dibuat di sana? We could also play ball there as the park is huge. Nak main bola. Yeah? Question number 2. Question number 3. What should you bring? Don't forget to bring an extra mat. Ika. And to place our food. Automatically kita tahu makanan memang kita akan bawa. Just in case. Just in case. Right? Now, satu lagi dia kata some snacks. Ni pun kita anggap sebagai jawapan. Untuk menjawab soalan yang ketiga. Right? Ketiga. Now, yang saya gariskan, the one that I bold, black here, as, and, though, and, okay, these are all we call as connectors, conjunction, penyambung ayat. If you look at the sentences that I use, ayat pertama ni, one sentence ni, this is actually complex sentence. Sebab dia adalah dua ayat yang disambungkan bersama. Now, apabila pelajar, they use complex sentence with the proper conjunction as, kerana saya pun tak ada apa yang nak dibuat perancangan. Pelajar dia akan dapat markah. Di mana? This one will give you marks on your organisation and language. Dia akan bantu dekat sini. Okay, same goes with and. Though. And. Alright? Okay, ada soalan nak tanya? Any question that you want to ask? Okay, nanti kita simpan. Nanti 10 minit sebelum berakhir nanti kita I'll try to ask as many questions as you can, as I can. Okay. Alright, this is the second question. Now, the first question you are writing to a new friend, kawan. Now, this is your cousin. Cousin ni saudara kita, ya. The cousin is given a name, Hakim. So now Hakim has just moved to your hometown. Pindah pula dekat tempat tinggal awak. Kampung awak. What is wrong with Hakim? Hakim pun nak pergi berkelah. Picnic. Where do you think we should go? What can we do? What should we bring? Sama tak soalan dengan tadi tu? Lebih kurang je sebenarnya. Nama saja berbeza. Dan apa hubungan dia? Cousin. Soalan ini dengan soalan sebelum sama. Lebih kurang. Alright? So same goes with what is happening to you now in school. Cikgu kadang-kadang dia bagi awak soalan tu sama saja. Tetapi yang akan berubah adalah the name of the person and the relationship. Apa hubungan orang tu dengan awak. Yang membezakan ni lah. Okay. Assignment, the question masih ada 3. 2 and 3. Alright. 80 patah perkataan. Now, for this question, what I did is I tried to analyze first. This one also can be done with your teacher. Your teacher can help you out. Cikgu-cikgu yang kat luar sana, kalau cikgu rasa cikgu nak buat macam ni, cikgu buat dulu lah cikgu. Kalau kita, you just help your students. Because sometimes students they get panic. They get panic, suddenly they go blank. So they need your help this last minute for them to identify. Jadi cikgu kena beritahu kalau cousin ni siapa, apa. So apa saya buat ialah, I just highlight apa yang dia nak, what is this situation, what you should do. Keperluan dia apa yang kena dibuat. So saya keluarkan benda. Okay, email kalau you tengok secara keseluruhan, 2 contoh email ni, it is actually what we call as informal, tidak rasmi. That is why they use the word friendly. Because email has to sound very close to us, because when it is close to us, it is easier for us to understand better. Lebih baik sebenarnya kalau benda itu berkait dengan kita. Okay, pelajar? Alright? Okay, saya ada setengah jam lagi dengan awak ni. Ya Allah, nak fungsi banyak pula tu. Okay, let's go to our second part. Now, second part ni adalah a little bit susah sikit daripada part pertama. Part pertama, students have to write 80 words. 80 words. Kalau pelajar tanya saya, di manakah kita perlu mula mengira patah perkataan, saya cadangkan pelajar kira patah perkataan bermula daripada hi Amy sampailah bye. So at the end here, di bawah sini nanti, what you do is you put the number of words dalam kotak bawah. Contoh saya bagi katakanlah when I have already counted this whole passage, this whole paragraph, I come out with around 79. So I put here 79. 79 words. Ini dekat bawah ni. 79 words. Alright. Tulislah saja. Dia in the question it doesn't state whether it is compulsory or not. Memang tak ada dalam soalan. Tetapi selalunya this is what I teach my students. Saya akan suruh mereka kira sebenarnya. Sebab kalau mereka tak kira, mereka tak nampak. Sebenarnya 79, 80 sebenarnya pendek je. Belajar tak panjang. Itu yang kadang-kadang bila kita tak tahu berapa, what is going to happen is awak akan tulis panjang sangat sampai habis ke bawah. And you are wasting your time. Okay? Right? Okay. Now, part 2 is guided writing. Now, whatever it is guided ialah berpandu. Kat mana kita pernah buat ni? Sebenarnya kita buat ni di dalam PT3. In PT3 examination actually have done this. Okay. Candidates are required to write an essay in about 125 to 150 words. Kalau awak tanya saya berapa 155, 150 panjang mana teacher? Usually it will be around 1 page. Satu muka surat ataupun setengah muka surat. It will not reach to 2 pages. Tidak akan sampai. Satu muka surat ataupun setengah muka surat. depending on how big is your handwriting. Okay. Now, pelajar, untuk bahagian B, part 2, please don't count the words. Tolong jangan kira perkataan. Tolong jangan buang masa kira. Tak perlu kira. Mata tu, you set your own eye. Make sure fokus macam mana cikgu saya pesan. Panjang dia macam mana. Okay. Based on the stimulus given. Stimulus adalah bantuan. Bantuan. Sebab tu dia kata guided. Contains situation. Situasi. And then 3 prompts. 3 prompts adalah pembantu. Pembantu relating to the situation. Situasi pun dia akan berikan kepada murid. Alright. Dan kita tengok contoh. This is actually what I will always tell my students before they start writing. Tolong baca soalan. Please read the questions carefully. Kadang-kadang cikgu cakap banyak kali pun awak tak dengar. Kadang-kadang lah. Bukan selalu. Okay. Okay. Highlight or underline the main ideas. Highlight main ideas. Isi utama. Plan. Rancang. Introduce. Kat mana introduce ni? Introduce. Kalau boleh, if possible, when you want to do the introduction, you use your own words, understanding. Tapi kalau pelajar rasa tak boleh, it's okay. It doesn't matter. Nanti saya ada shortcut untuk awak. Saya tunjuk macam mana kita nak cari. Alright? Okay. Let's go. Next. Now, this is what I will also give you this cohesive devices, penanda wacana. These are the things that actually we use in our essay writing. Pilih yang mana awak rasa mudah untuk awak ingat lah. Okay. So, when you write your essay, for guided writing, saya galakkan pelajar have a combination of simple, complex and compound. Ayat ringkas, ayat sederhana dengan ayat yang lebih kompleks. Compound. Penggunaan apa? By the usage of cohesive devices. And, due to, because. Those are these. Alright? Okay, kenapa kita perlukan cohesive devices? Why do you need penanda wacana? This is to join ideas. For you to join ideas. 1 and 2 ideas to be joined together. Sometimes you want to join ideas with elaboration. Sometimes you want to join elaboration with examples. Such as due to, because. Itu yang kita nak. Kita nak panjangkan ayat kita tu. Tetapi kita masih boleh dapat markah. Okay pelajar, this is actually one of my techniques that I use with my students in school. And alhamdulillah setakat ni, even the weak students, they can use this. Dia guna cara ni. Sebabnya saya nak bantu mereka dapatkan markah, supaya mereka bantu mereka untuk dapat markah tak terlalu banyak, tetapi the students will not get a 0. InsyaAllah dia takkan dapat kosong lah. Paling kuat pun dia akan dapat 3 paling tinggi. Okay. Para means paragraph. Sebaik-baiknya, we make use, we try to use up the requirement when you write an essay. We have to write at least minimum is actually 5 paragraphs. Sedangkan tingkatan 3, 1 pun cikgu ajar tulis 6 perenggan. Ini sampai tingkatan 5. Sebaik-baiknya to have a very nice, beautiful essay, saya galakkan pelajar buat 5 perenggan. 5 perenggan ni just nice. Okay. Now 5P maksudnya 5 paragraph. 5 paragraph you start off with introduction. Introduction. Pelajar introduction ni dia ada shortcut. Tetapi pelajar kena pandai cari kat mana shortcut itu berada. Dan untuk saya, for me, what I will ask my students to do is, they look at the topic or they look at the situation. Use back the situation topic as their introduction. Tetapi, put it in a very simple sentence. Para 2 means paragraph 2, content 1. Apa content 1 ni cikgu? Content 1 means question 1. Sebab soalan dia akan ada 3 soalan. Therefore, your paragraph 2 will be answering only question number 1. Paragraph 3, you are going to answer question number 2. Question 1 tak nampak tak? Okay, paragraph 4. When content number 3 means you use question number 3. Kat mana? Soalan cikgu ada. Memang ada. And for closing, apa yang pelajar boleh buat sebenarnya? Shortcut. Okay, shortcut ialah what you use as your introduction. Kalau you rasa dah tak cukup masa, you do not want to waste time, you gunakan balik intro tadi, tukarkan kepada closing. Tapi cikgu akan ajar macam mana kita nak guna. Ada cara dia. Okay, ini yang saya panggilkan sebagai shortcut ataupun saya panggil sebagai recycle. I will recycle again. Alright? 5 perenggan ni cikgu, 5 perenggan. 5 perenggan ni student. Kalau buat ni seronok buat ni sebenarnya. Saya suka. Saya suka buat. Okay, soalan. Now, your class has been discussing about things you are going to do after SPM, and your class teacher has asked you to write an essay about your plans after the examinations. Ini berkaitan dengan pelajar ke berkaitan dengan cikgu ni? Rasa-rasanya. Berkaitan dengan pelajar kan dengan cikgu? Berkaitan dengan pelajar kan? Okay. Berkaitan dengan awak tengok situasi dia. Soalan dia bertanya kepada awak, apa yang awak nak buat? Things you are going to do, yang you hendak buat, akan buat selepas SPM. Meaning that while waiting for your SPM results, what you plan to do? Some of you say you want to work part-time. Some of you say that you want to take driving license. Some of you say you want to do short courses, take up computer class, for example. Itu maksudnya perancangan. And your teacher has asked you to write an essay about your plans. Perancangan awak ni kena buat. Perancangan ni kena buat selepas peperiksaan tu. Okey pelajar, kat manakah question yang saya cakap tadi tu? Inilah soalan dia. Nampak tak bullets ni? These bullets, 3 bullets. These 3 bullets are actually the requirement. Ini adalah content yang kita kena jawab. Q1, Q2 dan Q3. Tengok balik di atas. Ada tak? Ada ya? Okay. Now, kalau pelajar lupa, what you do is letakkan di sini nanti initial Q1. Q1, okay. Contoh saya buat ya. Q1. Q1. Highlight kan. Okay. This one becomes Q2. Q2. And this one will become your Q3. Q3. Okay, soalan ni. Alright. Masa ni baru kita susun. Baru kita susun. So, the question ni tak minta you bagi banyak-banyak. Kenapa saya selalu suruh pelajar saya cari 3? Sebab apa? Dalam soalan ni kata 3. 3 things. 3 things you need to do. 3 je benda you nak buat. Apa benda you nak buat? So, some students say they want to sleep after SPM. Kenapa? Jangan bagi sebab because I like to sleep. Jangan sebab macam tu. Kenapa kita nak sleep? You feel tired. You want to get enough rest because you have studied so hard for your SPM. Itu reason ni mesti reason yang betul. You want to go for a holiday with who? Your family? Berapa lama you nak pergi? You want to work what? Work part time. Di mana? Where? McDonald's? You want to work as a barista at Starbucks? Terpulang kepada awak. Okay. Apabila you ada 3 jawapan di sini, what you need to do now is bila you kata sleep, you kena bagi tahu kenapa you nak tidur. Saya dah cakap tadi, because you want to rest. You feel tired. Why you want to go for a holiday? Because you are sitting for SPM examination. Can you go for a holiday? Cannot. You have to concentrate. Therefore, right after SPM examination, I want to go for a holiday with my family. Because before this, I do not have the opportunity. Tak ada peluang pun. Okay. Kenapa you nak kerja part-time? Jawab kepada soalan dia. You want to earn some money. You want to earn some pocket money. Untuk apa? Pocket money because you want to buy a handphone. You want to buy a cordless headphone. Ini yang benda-benda awak nak guna untuk duit tu tadi. Okay. Katakan you nak, lepas tu soalan yang ketiga. How long? Berapa lama you plan nak buat benda-benda ni? Berapa tempoh masa? Now, if you say that you want to sleep, how many hours of sleep do you need to have for you to make sure that you will be okay again, fresh again, selepas penat nak SPM? Berapa lama? Holiday, how many days you want to go? How many days? Want to go for a week? You want to go for 2 weeks? Work part-time. How many months berulang? Kenapa cikgu dia bagi cari 3? Sebab bila dia bagi 3, you akan dapat cantik je seimbang untuk setiap perenggan tu tadi. Untuk setiap perenggan tu tadi. Right. Now, okay. Kat mana? Yang ini adalah cara yang saya buat dalam kelas dengan pelajar saya, cikgu. Teachers out there, if you watch this, you can actually follow this plan. This is what I do with my students, especially when they want to start writing. Kenapa saya buat macam ni cikgu? Bila saya buat macam ni pelajar cikgu sama je. You can learn all this. You can use all this. When I have this box one side, if I were to use plan 1, so what I do is you can see that I have arranged it based on the questions given. Susunan dia sama je. Alright, susunan dia sama. Jadi, this plan number 1, sleep. Why do I sleep? How long will I sleep? Plan number 2, traveling. Why I want to travel? With who I want to travel? How long I will be traveling? Plan 3, you want to work part-time. I want to earn money. How long? 3 months. So what you can get students, with this plan 1, you can straight away give your reason. You can straight away give how long. Okay. Berapa perenggan kita nak tulis tadi? Kita nak tulis 5 perenggan, betul? Alright. Dalam perenggan yang kedua tadi, apabila kita buat kotak seperti ini, pelajar, awak akan dapat jawapan untuk soalan pertama, jawapan untuk soalan kedua, and answer for question number 3. Same goes when you do paragraph number 3. You are using question number 2, betul? Okay. Question number 2, plan number 2, reason number 2, duration number 2. When you go to your 4th paragraph, perenggan yang keempat, you use plan number 3, reason for number 3, how long for number 3. Nampak tak pelajar? Nampak tak? Maksudnya saya dah tolong bantu dekat sini. Awak akan dapat mudahnya bila kita nak jawab balik soalan. Bila kita nak jawab. This is more on practice side. More on practice. So actually when you do this for your practice, boleh tak kita guna cara ni cikgu untuk jawab soalan yang ketiga? Boleh sebenarnya. Sebenarnya boleh. Okay. Alright. So bila you masuk perenggan yang kedua, ini yang saya ingatkan pelajar saya. Saya selalu suruh dia guna, bila kita nak sambung perenggan yang pertama kepada perenggan yang kedua. Perenggan yang kedua, kita nak mulakan isi yang pertama, the main idea for number 1. Saya galakkan pelajar guna perkataan first. When you go into your question number 2, you start off with next. When you go into question number 3, ini adalah soalan terakhir. So you put there, final. Adakah ini penanda wacana? Yes. Is this cohesive devices? Yes. And when you want to complete, you want to finish your essay, you akan guna in conclusion. In conclusion. CONCLUSION. Apakah jawapannya? Okay. Faham tak? Faham tak? Alright. Apa yang saya katakan shortcut tadi? Shortcut ni tadi, saya tunjuk pelajar. Saya akan guna soalan ni sebagai intro. Apa saya akan buat? Saya akan ambil semua soalan ni. Semua soalan ni saya akan masukkan dekat sini. Okay. Saya akan ubah. I will change a little bit. Saya akan ubah sedikit. When you write an introduction, my sentence structure, dia tidak akan menggunakan lagi your class. Ini introduction saya, this is my intro. Your class will become, if I want to use saya, then I will replace the word your class becomes my class. My class has been discussing about things we are going to do after SPM, kami, so kita akan guna we. We are going to do after SPM, and guru kami, our teacher, as asked, kami, as contoh. Alright. Katakan you dah mula dengan my tu tadi. You tengok semua we, our, us. You rasa tak yakin kan? So what you do is front here you just change the pronoun. Kata-kata dia tukarkan kepada our class teacher. Our class. Nampak? This is your introduction. This is your introduction. Salah ke? Tak salah je. It is not wrong. It is still correct. Write an essay about our plans after the SPM examination. Okay? Ini intro. This is what I call as shortcut. Shortcut daripada soalan from the question. Okay. If I want to recycle my introduction to be the conclusion, apa saya buat? Saya akan bawa jawapan ni dekat sini. Saya akan bawa jawapan saya, sambung saja selepas conclusion. Sambungkan saja. Okay. Alright. This is actually for students who are mediocre lah. Ini untuk pelajar yang sederhana dan pelajar yang lemah. Ini sebenarnya cara cikgu. Ini sebenarnya cara. This is actually my way of teaching my students because I teach the mediocre students, pelajar-pelajar sederhana, and I teach the weak students. And this is actually the only way that my students can write because I need to help them. So when I give them this, shortcut and recycle way, what actually make them feel is that sebenarnya cikgu tak susah cikgu, kita ada cara kita nak cari nak bagi pelajar tu dapat markah daripada tinggal kosong. Okay, ini salah satu cara cikgu. Students maaf. Alright. Okay, part 3 is extended writing. Now extended writing saya tinggal 15 minit lagi Alright, extended writing ni ada 3 jenis soalan. Now 3 questions. Your teachers must teach you all the four types, which is article, reviews, reports, and stories. You must learn this. Everyone must learn this. Tak boleh kata tak belajar. Mesti belajar. Okay. So a writing skill ni is that requires you to plan your writing well. Cara yang saya gunakan dalam part 2 tadi, yang saya guna cara dekat atas ni tadi, sebenarnya pelajar, awak boleh pakai untuk part yang ketiga. This is actually can be also used for your part number 3. Dia boleh digunakan. Okay? Because for your part 3, the questions are also, if they are, the 3 options given to you actually ask you for 3 questions. 3 soalan juga, like here. What are the ways to stay healthy? This is 1 question, 1 soalan. Effects, 1 question. And then you can see the school encourage is 1 question. 3 soalan. Is it the same as before? Yes, it's quite similar. Alright. So for an article, this is the format for article. Even though there is no marks for article given, but students please understand that when you are writing an article, we want to see it has to look like an article. Article must have a title on top, tajuk dia di atas, the writer is below. Siapa yang tulis? Saya nasihatkan to write your full name. Please do not write your nickname. Saya tak galakkan awak. So here would be your essay writing. Berapa perenggan students? 5 paragraphs. Boleh tak guna cara yang saya ajar ni? Boleh. There is no problem. Tak ada masalah. Can you use the recycle way that I explained just now? Yes, can. There is no problem. You can still use the recycle way. Or the shortcut way. Sebab tu saya bawa dekat sini. Sama je. Alright? Okay. The next one is a review. Now, this is the first time I think in SPM where review question is being asked, and there is actually no fixed format for review. And pelajar sebenarnya ada masalah dekat sini ya, banyakkannya. And reviews are usually about movies, restaurants, food. Biasalah selalu kita buat review apa kata buku, filem-filem, artis. This is a review, right? Review ni dia kena tiga benda. Description, discussion and recommendation. Description means if you are going to review about the restaurant, so the restaurant has to have a name. Where? Discussion. What are you going to concentrate on? Are you going to concentrate about the menu? Are you going to concentrate about the services at the restaurant? And at the end of your review, you must give a recommendation. Sama juga dengan buku, tajuk, penulis, siapa. What is so special about the book? You discuss. And then the recommendation, are you going to recommend to your friend? Is it recommendable or not? Sesuai ke tidak untuk dibaca oleh pelajar sekolah. Okay, saya akan bagi juga notanya sama. Jangan risaulah. Okay. Sebab saya ada lagi 10 minit ni nak tanya soalan kan. Alright. Okay. And then a report. Now, a report writing, the difference is that for this time of around, you have to write 250 words. Untuk part ketiga, pelajar kena tulis lebih panjang. That's why we call it as extended writing. 250 words means lebih kurang dalam 2 muka surat. 1.5 page. Okay. They also have questions given. Dan untuk format bagi report ialah seperti ini. Most of the report writing is actually to your principal. And please remember, students, if you were to write to your principal, please make sure that you give the name of the school. If you are from Perak, so the post of the principal, jawatan, mesti berada di depan. Continue with the name of the school. If the question you are writing to your teacher advisor of a society ke apa, so teacher advisor mesti ada nama guru penasihat. Nak letak nama guru penasihat boleh, tapi sebaiknya letaklah jawatan dia saja. Ya? Guru penasihat untuk persatuan apa? Put the name of the society. Below the person that you are writing to is a title, tajuk, and the date. Tarikh mestilah formal. If like for example today, 29th of January, so here you have to write 29th January 2022. Okay? Right. At the end of your report, you have to use this reported by. Yeah. Signature, tanda tangan. In the bracket is your name. Usually I will ask my students to use capital letter, huruf besar. And below here is the position. Apa jawatan awak? So if you are the secretary of the prefects board, so here you put secretary, prefects board, nama sekolah. Okay, for example. Alright. Okay. Sama jugalah. Sama je cara dia. Saya guna 5 perenggan tadi. The 5P writing technique. 5 perenggan tu tadi. The same way where I use the introduction, I use the question. I pick the question and just use it as my introduction. Alright? Okay. And the last one is a story. So ada 4, tapi dalam SPM pelajar diberi 3 pilihan for part 3. Part 3. But you have to choose between, if they give you a story, a report or a review, just choose one of this. Whether you want to write a story, a report or a review. Satu saja. Meaning that from part A, B and C, part A is 1 email. Part 2 is guided writing, 1 essay. Part 3 is extended writing, 1 essay as well. Pilihlah antara 3 tu. So for the last type of writing, which is a story, it depends on the question. If they give you the title, so the title has to be, you have to use the title. Tapi jangan risau pelajar sebab they will give you the situation and they give you what they want, description. You have to explain, you have to describe, menggambarkan, and then you have to give the reason why is it memorable. Look at the Noun given, adakah, is it plural or singular? How many? One or two reasons or more than one? Is it more or is it less? So if you see that it's reasons, it's in plural form, meaning that you should be giving two more than one reason. Two or three, it depends on you. It depends on you. Belajar nak banyak mana terpulang. Okay? Alright? Okay. Alright. Cukup lah. Okay, 5 minit lagi. 5 minit. Okay, saya stop sharing dulu. Saya stop sharing sebab ada soalan saya nak tanya.
Okay, thank you teacher for the explanation, that detailed explanation about this paper. So we question and answer session. So anyone have a question for, if you don't understand about something, but teacher, I think I found out one the question from Ismail, which is the question is from the beginning our session. Okay, this is this question. Teacher, for the email we have to answer on the answer sheet, or we will be given another paper.
Oh, okay. Alright. For English paper, actually they give you a booklet. It is in the form of a booklet. So booklet tu is something lah macam jenis test pad lah. Uh, if usually the booklet has a lot of pages, you don't have to worry. They were for email, the template is already inside there. So if you were to make any mistakes, I think you have another column to write back your answer. I'm not sure how is it going to be because this is the new format, and tapi from past years experience, it is all a booklet answer. Dia memang dalam bentuk buku. Macam BM ke BI ke dalam bentuk buku, pelajar akan diberi, dan jangan risau kalau diberi dalam bentuk sekeping, saya tak rasa dia bagi dalam bentuk sekeping because the three parts have to be answered together in one piece. Dia akan ada extra kertas yang berlebihan lah. Tapi yang penting pelajar, when you answer the question, make sure di sebelah kiri muka surat itu, kalau you jawab soalan part A, so you letaklah situ part A. Tulis kat situ part A. Jadi when the examiners mark the papers, examiners dia akan tengok pelajar tulis apa, dia akan tengok dan dia boleh bagi markah. Kadang-kadang pelajar lupa, dia selalu lupa letak nombor soalan contohnya. Jadi kita nak elak, we want to avoid students from making mistakes. Kita tak tahu pelajar jawab yang mana. Saya nasihatkan pelajar, everyone by the side you put there part 1. If you answer part 2, so you put part 2. Part 3, the third part tu yang part 3, you have to put there part 3 soalan apa. You tengok pada nombor soalan sebab dia akan bermula dengan soalan 1, walaupun part 1 satu soalan nombor 1. Part kedua dia akan panggil guided writing sebagai soalan yang kedua. Bila you masuk part ketiga, sebab dia ada 3 soalan essay, dia akan panggil nombor 3, 4 dan 5. So in part 3, you put there question number what? Is it question number 3 or question number 4 or question number 5? Itu nak elakkan pelajar daripada buat silap. Selalunya lah. Ataupun kadang-kadang pemeriksa dia get confused. Jadi kita tulislah macam tu pelajar. Jangan risau, no worries, papers will be provided. Dia akan bagi, jangan risau belajar.
Betul, kalau tak cukup paper, kalau tak cukup paper pun dapat paper lebih.
Ya, jangan bawa paper sendiri sudah. Okay, you will have extra paper, no worry. Okay, jangan risau.
Ismail, you clear with the question. So anyone, if you have any question more, you can just ask. We have enough time for teacher to answer. So we have another question from Atia Adelina.
Oh, kenapa
teacher,
tak
kenapa
boleh?
Tak boleh letak?
Second, sebenarnya benda tu is an old usage. Bila kita kata old usage, dia tak sesuai dengan keadaan semasa. Ada setengah orang, bila kita kata I hope you are in the pink of health, selalunya orang yang sihat, dia punya kulit dia glowing merah kan, pink kan, orang kata pinkish, nampak cantik kan. So bila you kata I hope you are in the pink of health, health tu dah sihat, pink tu dah nampak sihat. So you actually making a repetition. Sebab tu dia akan stop sampai I hope you are in the pink. Dia tak guna I hope in the pink of health. Ya. Sebab tu kita tak galakkan pelajar because benda tu kita panggil benda dah lama. Sekarang awak dekat tahun 2022 kan. We are in the 21st century. So we do not want to encourage students to use all this anymore because it's an old saying. Benda lama kita tak nak guna. Kita bagi yang ringkas. Kalau ikutkan untuk SPM ni sebenarnya saya rasa for this format is actually quite easy because the requirement for students to write essay is actually a little bit more kata dia nampak lebih mudah sebab pelajar hanya kita galakkan pelajar supaya be straightforward. Straightforward. Kalau you nak tanya orang tu apa khabar, you straight away you akan tanya, hi, how are you? Rather than you say, I hope you're in the pink. Bayangkan kalau orang tak faham, I hope you're in the pink of health, klik-klik dia benar. Dia tak faham kan, dia cakap apa yang awak cakap sebenarnya. So, be straightforward. Kita nak memudahkan. And because sometimes, students will make mistakes when they spell the word health. Kadang-kadang kita nak cepat, kita terlupa. So, kita nak elakkan benda-benda seperti itu. Dan lagi pun, pink of health ni jarang kita pakai, especially now. Kita akan biasa, hi, how are you? I hope you're fine. I'm okay. Are you well? You tak kata, are you healthy today? It sounded very awkward. So you use the word, we use a simple sentence. Okay? Alright? Okay, saya harap saya menjawab soalan. Saya harap saya menjawab soalan.
Okay, dah cukup padat itu.
Zaman moden. Ayat dia zaman moden ayat dia.
Okay, we move to another question. We have two more questions.
Sure, no problem.
From Iza. One more from Iza.
Bombastic, alright. Let me put it this way. Sebenarnya bahasa Inggeris ni kalau even you speak very simple words pun it's actually quite bombastic. There are certain words which sometimes when you use two bombastic words in your writing, it doesn't sound suitable. Dia bunyi very awkward macam pitching lari. Bahasa Melayu dia berbeza sebab dia bahasa Melayu yang standard. Bahasa Inggeris dia tidak ada yang standard sebab itu dalam bahasa Inggeris awak tengok dalam kamus dia ada pelbagai perkataan yang boleh membawa satu maksud. Now what we want the students to understand is that we want you to use the language dalam bentuk in a form of a very when you communicate benda itu mudah disampaikan. Tetapi kalau you still want to use bombastic words, saya tak halang. You must know when to use it. Ada perkataan yang akan kita guna certain word. Contoh, some students dia boleh pakai perkataan such as teenagers. Teenagers is very common when you use for essays. But some students they have never even heard the word adolescent. Adolescent is another word for teenagers, betul? Tapi you tengok konteks ejaan dia dengan dia punya sebutan. Adolescent, teenagers, which is easier to pronounce. Teenagers. So kita tak kata tak boleh pakai. Boleh. Cuma certain situation. So bila kita pakai adolescent bila kita akan guna dalam konteks sekarang yang lebih formal. Lagi nampak, lagi rasmi, cantik. Macam kita buat journal contohnya. Teenagers, we can use it for article. You can use it for our normal everyday sentence structure. Sama ada bombastic atau tak, saya sebenarnya saya tak galakkan pelajar guna bombastic untuk bahasa Inggeris terlalu tinggi sebab kadang-kadang tak sesuai. Kadang-kadang tak sesuai, itu saja. There is nothing wrong for you to use, but sometimes it is not suitable. Okay? Alright, Izzah?
Okay. Macam teacher cakap tadi lah. Sekarang ni more kepada straightforward.
Yes. Sebenarnya for SEFAR ni sebenarnya lebih kepada communication. Sebab itu kalau kita tengok dalam kita punya assessment criteria pemakahan tadi, the first thing that we look at is not language. Sebab tu bahasa tidak diletakkan di tempat pertama. Dia letak di bawah sekali, betul? Walaupun pemarkahan dia masih sama. Markah dia sama 5-5-5. Tetapi hierarki kedudukan dia tu dia berada di bawah. Dia put the content first. Content kalau tak betul, gunalah bahasa apa pun, the meaning will not be conveyed. Maksud takkan sampai. Itu bahasa Inggeris. Okay? Alright? No worries, insyaAllah. Ah,
Okay, just
okay.
remember content at first point.
Yes, yes,
Everything is
content.
the
Oh,
important is
good. Everything
content.
content. Okay. Anything
Okay,
else? You want to ask?
okay.
You ask?
Izzah said thank you to cikgu. Okay, jelaslah kot dengan explanation. So another question from Fahri. Fahri Azwan, teacher, short communication essay email
Oh,
boleh ke
berperangkat.
berperenggan?
Okay. Siapa nama tadi? Nama pun sedap. Fakri.
Fahri
Fakri.
Azwan.
Actually, Fakri sebenarnya there is nothing wrong if you want to do it berperenggan. Tak ada masalah. Cuma saya kata bila you buat berperenggan, the tendency for you to write longer is very high. Sebab bila kita dah set dalam otak kita, bila you buat karangan bahasa Melayu sekalipun, bila kita start buat perenggan yang kedua, kita dah panik. Nak panjang ke nak pendek? Bila you buat perenggan yang ketiga, nak panjang ke pendek? Dia kena ingat satu je. Bila kita buat email, kita bukan menulis surat dan kita bukan menulis satu karangan panjang. Email adalah, you tengok perkataan sendiri terkata short, communicative essay. Short communicative essay maksudnya apabila kita sampaikan maklumat dia dalam bentuk yang paling ringkas tetapi kita mesti faham. Masih dalam bentuk komunikasi. If you want to do it in a paragraph way, you nak buat dalam 2-3 perenggan tak ada masalah. Tetapi jangan terlalu panjang. Ingat 80 patah perkataan saja. Only 80 words. Alright? Tak ada masalah. No worries. Jangan risau. Boleh. Tak ada salah. Tak ada, setakat ni kita tak tahu macam mana. Tapi kalau you rasa you lebih selesa nak buat berperenggan supaya awak nampak, supaya awak tak terlalu panik, it's fine. As long as you are in the frame of 80 words tadi lah, 80 patah tadi. Okay? Alright, Fakri? Alright, so I hope I've answered your question. Alright? Okay, anything else?
Okay, so cikgu banyak pula soalan kita malam ni. Mungkin student ni tengah
Banyak.
fokus lah dekat penerangan cikgu.
Okay,
Ada lagi, itu daripada Eric.
apa
From
dia?
Eric.
Oh,
Teacher,
what
what
is
is
the
the highest
highest
band for
Alright.
anything?
Uh, if for everyone's information, marking for the marking of your essays, there are 4 criteria. Ada 4, which is content, communicative achievement, organization, and language. So these 4 scale uh, actually has the marks is between 0 to 5. 0 to 5, meaning that content is 0 to 5 marks. Communicative achievement 0 to 5, 0 to 5, 0 to 5. Every essay is 20 marks only. 20 markah saja. Sebab itu dia ada 4 scaling je. 4 scaling sebab dia 5-5-5. Jadi katakanlah your students mostly can score well for your email. Definitely you can score well if you are well trained by your teachers. You do a lot of practices. I have no doubt that you can get 20. 20 markah untuk maksimum email boleh dapat. Sebab dia very simple. It's quite easy. It's very short. It's very short. Tapi you have to do better for the others lah. You jangan buat email saja. Yang lain tinggal. It has to be the same. The same consistency. Kalau you guna cara teknik yang saya ajar tadi tu, I hope you can help you lah. Alright? Okay, so 20 mark is the highest for email. Okay, Eric? 20. Okay, ada lagi soalan?
I think that's all for today. For our,
kalau bagi dia sampai malam tak habis.
itulah tu. Okay.
Lawan
I think that's all. No another question from student. So
lagi? Tak ada dah, right?
tak ada. Okay, so thank you teacher for spending your time with us tonight.
Thank you for
In
inviting
holiday.
me. It's okay,
So,
no problem.
I think for sure it's very useful for our student, which is about the format, the rubric, the tips. I think it can be a reference for them. So for your information, today is our last slot for YouTube Live for this
see,
program.
alright.
So yeah, teacher is the last. The last is the special one. So thank you for the teacher.
Alright, so thank you so much for inviting. I wish all the best in your SPM examination, kids. Alright, Okay, insyaAllah semua akan berjaya.
Okay, so can you give us, I think maybe last word for our student who want to
Alright.
answer SPM.
Okay. My advice would be, I think this is like the last minute yang you nak buat preparation for everyone. You go, sekarang ni adalah masa untuk kita buat pencutan. Try to do a lot of trial question papers, especially from other states. Because kalau English especially, dia adalah benda yang baru, format baru. Jadi kebanyakan negeri-negeri ni dia akan ada pelbagai bentuk soalan yang you akan nampak, that which is good as a practice for this like few weeks. Minggu-minggu terakhir ni adalah yang terbaik sekali lah. Kat mana nak cari? Online banyak dek. Actually in Telegram group pun sebenarnya banyak. Do cari, download lah. You can do it in class with your teacher, because this is a time where you can actually ask your teacher's help, especially the brainstorming part. Sebab kalau kita nak buat belajar saja hanya jawab soalan tanpa bantuan guru, saya rasa tak membantu. Jadi sebaik-baiknya duduk dengan cikgu lah, kita brainstorm. Inilah masa kita minta tolong cikgu kita. Alright. So again, good luck in your SPM examination. I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best. I hope that whatever sharing that I did with you just now, I can dapat bantu sedikit sebanyak, tak 100%, but at least dalam 60-70% tu dapat bantu sedikit lah adik-adik kita yang nak sit for SPM tahun ni. Okay. Alright. So thank you again for inviting me. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, teacher. So last but not
Okay.
least, thank you for students who are always with us every week. Every week from the beginning to the end today. So you can hit our button like and subscribe so that you can go through our channel. So you can see video from the past week, previous week. So so I think that's all from us. Thank you. Macam salah perpisahan ke cikgu eh?
Sedihnya.
Okay.
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 Alright. Thank you. Good night everybody. Bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye
Bye.
semua.